What's up guys, Sagamer here. Now today I'm going to be doing a Zul'Aman Timed Run guide. I know there's a lot of guides already out there, but hey, I wanted to do my own. Hopefully my guide's better than the others, we'll soon see. Now in our group we had a Ret Paladin, we had a Mage, and we had a Shadow Priest as DPS, we had a Warrior Tank and a Shaman Healer. So we had Bloodlust covered. None of us are in full Heroic. I think the average is around sort of 355, me being the exception in 361, but everyone else was in sort of between normal raid and Zul'Aman / Zul group gear. So it does show that you don't need a full set of heroic gear just to do this. You really don't. Anyone who says they do, they're a liar. All you need is a confident tank, a healer that can manage his mana and be able to sort of mana up when he has a chance to, and keep up as well. And also DPS that sort of communicate well and know all the mobs, so they know who to DPS down first, who to crowd control, etc, etc. We did have a very good group for crowd control. We had Repentance and Sheep, plus Fear in bad situations, and also Knockback, which you see gets used quite a lot by the, I think it's the Mage who knocks back. Now on these packs you need to try and keep moving and get to the Tempest as soon as possible, but don't pull too much that you're going to sort of for it to be unmanageable. There's no point. There really isn't no point. Take down the Windwalker first because he heals and it's best to get him out the way first as he's a caster. Just leave the what's his name, Protector, just to do his own stuff. On the Eagles, AoE them down with the other mobs and try and pull the Tempest as soon as one of the waves has spawned. You'll get a wave from the front, which is the Eagles, and you'll get a wave from the back, which is the two Guardians or Gardens or Gardens. You're fighting Gardens. But yeah, get them out of the way. As soon as a wave spawns, pull the Tempest, because if you kill a wave, pull a Tempest, another wave will spawn during the Tempest, and it's just a waste of time. On this boss, don't spread it. You do need to spread out, but don't spread out too much, because when the Eye of the Storm hits, melee won't be able to carry on the boss. If you've got one melee, just leave him on the boss and let the ranged handle the White Eagle. The White Eagle still does need DPSing down. Bloodlust, because you might as well use it now because you'll be able to get another one out later on. You can tell when the Ice Storm's going to hit because all the rain starts coming down, so it gives you a couple of seconds warning if you are spread out, you know, to get in ASAP. Get him down as soon as you can and mount up and run to the next boss. Now there is a patrol in between this boss and the next boss. Skip it. If it's worth you waiting 10 seconds, like as you can see, it depends where it is when you're there, but just skip it anyway. Just wait the 10 seconds, wait for it to move away and skip it. And if you run straight past them and pull the bears, then those mobs will run to you eventually, but it gives you a few extra seconds to sort of start on them. Now this bit is a bit of a pain for tanks and healers. Tank will take high damage and healer will use a lot of mana, so try and use whatever cooldowns you can there and just keep at it. Get these down as soon as you can. This is one of our I think this was the worst run we did, and we still ended up with about 2-3 minutes. Our best run was about 5 to 6 minutes, and as you can see we're not amazingly geared. Our DPS is quite high because people knew what they were doing, but it wasn't amazing. We didn't have the 3%, the 3 stacks of luck of the draw, so we didn't have the 15% damage or the 15% healing or the 15% health, so yeah, you can do it with just decent people. You're not really going to be able to do it in a pug unless you get really lucky and you get like 15 all-star players, but 15? 5. As you can see, I've been quite a noob and I leave Crusader Auron for most of the fight. I eventually remember, I think. Now a great tip on these bears, I think we fail on this go, but if you stun them at 30%, then when they dismount, there won't be a bear. So we stunned at around 30 to 40%, and when they dismount there'll be no bear, so you'll just have to deal with the one ad, which makes it really useful, and we failed twice there doing it. Now on the next wave it is really useful to CC the right ad, because it's just not worth having the extra aggro there. And as soon as you can, kill the medical man. He will put down totems. The most important one to kill is the protective ward, because you can't do any DPS. So get him killed and hopefully not mess up on stunning the bears, which I do again I think. We weren't using vent, so if you do have vent it really does help, but you don't, it's not a necessity. Like, we didn't have vent, we were just using party chat, but we all knew what we were doing. So it may be worth sort of explaining tactics or explaining the plan before you start. And we messed up 4 times in a row on the bears, which is probably why it was one of our slower runs, because it's just a waste of time having to DPS the bear. If any mobs are sort of low on HP, like 5 to 10%, just leave them to it and let the dots finish them off. On this boss, just the same as normal, DPS him down as quickly as possible, popping cooldowns. Remember, you need to have ranged constantly moving, so only one of them takes the charge, otherwise they will die. But that's easy enough. Make sure your tank pops a cooldown on this part just to help out, because he will take quite high damage. But our healer seems to handle it pretty well, which is really nice. Do not bother looting the chests. They don't despawn, and you can get them later if you really need something out of it, but just ignore them for now. There's no use. Just run past them and carry on with your timed run. One really annoying thing we had when we were doing the time run was we kept getting Zul grub constantly. Once you've done one ZA timed run, we must have got Zul grub about 3-4 times in a row, so we were just sitting there for like an hour. On this pack, CC the Guardian and kill down the Flamecaster as soon as you can, interrupting as many of his casts as you can. It's really important because his Flame Barrage thing really does hurt the raid, or the party, or group, whatever you want to call it. And while he's doing his transformation thing, go and pull the other mob and start DPSing that until he's finished, because while he's doing that you can't do any damage to him anyway, so you might as well gain as much time as you can. In this area there are the scouts. These will just be sort of randomly placed. There will be a couple that are in part of sort of a trash pack, and there will be scouts that are just patrolling. Like you can see here, there's one that was sort of to the left walking around. Watch out for these, because if any of these do hit the drums, then they'll summon more adds, which you have to deal with, and that's just waste of time. So make sure you kill them as priority. Now in the next pack, you take out the first scout, and then we have a patrolling scout there. You need to pull by killing the scout, and then move on to the Flamecaster, get him out of the way. Remember to interrupt his abilities. And then you only have the Guardians to deal with, who just do the bleed debuff. It isn't that much to worry about. Now for the next pack, it does contain 2 Flamecasters, so you do need to have CC on this pack, even if it's just one Flamecaster, but I'd recommend CCing both Flamecasters, as they do hit pretty hard if they cast anything off. A useful tip here is if you've got a mage in the group, get him to spell steal the Juggernaut, as the Juggernaut has a ability where he'll attack and cause an earthquake on the ground. If the mage does spell steal it, get him to auto attack the mobs and he'll cause an earthquake if he's doing that in between casts, which is really useful for the next boss because it helps on the Dragonhawks. I think it lasts for about 3 minutes, so it is really good to spell steal that. Now we did pop Bloodlust on this fight just so we got that extra bit of time. You can save it until the last boss, it's completely up to you, but it doesn't really make a huge amount of difference. Now we went for the one side hatcher tactic, where you allow one hatcher to live and release one side and then do the other side. You can kill both hatchers, nuke the boss and allow him to release all the eggs at the same time, it's up to you. But this is a more sort of reliable way, as it's a lot less risk free, you're not going to sort of overwhelm the healer, and there's a lot more chance for the two-sided tactic to go wrong over the one-sided tactic. So it's better to play it safe, to be honest. So once all the eggs hatch, just AoE them down, kill all the Dragonhawks as priority, and then finish off the boss. Nice and easy boss to do. Should only take you a couple of minutes to kill him. Once he's dead, you need to have about... You can do this bit with 7 minutes, but 10 minutes is a good time to have. And anything more than sort of 10 minutes is really, really nice. Skip as much as you can, like if you go up the stairs just where we've just been, you can skip that patrol. You do need to kill the tigers, there's no sort of way really around these, but they don't take too long to kill. If you've got a Death Knight or a Shaman in the group, you can get water walking and skip this beast tamer here, which saves another sort of 30 seconds. There's no sort of special thing to do with the tigers, just sort of pull them and AoE them down. I think there's 3 packs in totals, and they'll just randomly jump out at you. By now you really do want to be trying to pick it up. If you've got like I suppose you can push it and get through this bit a bit quicker than we did, as we were pretty slow on this. You could probably run through and get both packs at the same time. We sort of done half a pack and then went and got the other pack. So there's a lot of areas where you can pick up even like 10 seconds. If you can pick up 10 seconds in like 3 or 4 areas, that's nearly a minute that you've gained. So it's really crucial to pick up any time you can. Finish off these tigers, and then there's only one more pack left before the boss. In old ZA there used to be more. There used to be like 2 patrols in the boss's actual room, or 1 patrol. Can't quite remember. But they've removed that now just to make it slightly easier. I did try and CC one mob in this group, but it gets interrupted, and we end up taking all the mobs at the same time. Try and kill the lynxes first here, as they pounce and stun people, which is really annoying. It means you can't DPS or heal. And also try and dispel the mind control as soon as possible, as you lose out on DPS with that as well. Once they're dead, you're on to the final boss. Final boss is really easy. It's probably one of the easier ones, to be fair. As soon as he summons a totem, just get the tank to move the boss out instantly and try not to let it heal, and then get your healer and any ranged that use mana inside the totem, just so they get their mana regen back, and I think it heals as well, maybe? I'm not too sure on that. Just ignore the cat, but still take down the corrupted lightning totems, as they can hurt, but it's up to you. You could probably do it without killing them. It's not going to be anything sort of major that's going to kill you. Remember to pop any cooldowns that you've got here, as it is the final push, so any major sort of long cooldowns, use them. Just keep nuking down the troll until he goes back into his cat form, or his merged spirit form. Nuke him down again, and then he'll split, and then just repeat that until he's dead. There's nothing really challenging about this boss, as long as the tank moves the boss out the totems straight away, and the group kills the corrupted lightning totems if they're getting too much. And that's about it. Release your troll and you get a Amani warbear. It did take us about 4 hours to do each mount for 5 people, but that was mainly due to about 2 hours wasted in Zul'Grub, as we kept getting it and being really unlucky. So I hope this guide helps you out. I hope you end up with an Amani warbear after watching my guide. That'd be brilliant. That's what the guide's here for. Good luck on your bears. Thanks for tuning in. Subscribe and thumbs up if you enjoyed my videos. Thanks and see ya.